Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to cover just four topics, out of which two play a major role. These two topics are very important, and especially the link which you can see everywhere, every website you go. Let me just give you an example. Let me just open Chrome and let's open a new tab. Okay, okay, this works fine. Let's say you can see all these things, right? And how do you think you can, link this? Let me say I just want to go over here and look for this page. You can't say a person to go to this page. You have to link these two pages, right? So how does this is being implemented? We'll go through that. I'll show you with a very simple demo page which you're going to make, and so that would be very clear to you guys. And we would start off with where we left before. That would be list. A little more about the list. I'm not going to bore you much about it. I had already completed a long lecture on it, but this time just a small implementation of list and a description, and we'll be going on to important topics after that. Okay, said that try to do this on your own, and I'll be showing you how to do this. So let me just begin to the code part. Hmm, let me just go to the code over here, and let me just create a new folder, name it as list.html, and as you know the drill, right? HTML5, and it gives you the or a boilerplate code for HTML, and let me just make it as this. So imagine I'm a developer, okay, and this is a website which I have to make. It contains the same exact things, okay. Oh, okay, let me just come back, and I want to design the entire thing. So what do? I have to just design this page. So as you can see, this looks bolder and larger. So what would you guys choose? Is it headings? Yeah, if we had chosen headings, then that would be correct. So let me start off with the heading H1, and with this pasted over here. So I would like to work with in such a way that I see my output most of the time. Let me just put it over here. Yeah, this looks far better. Every time I know what's happening and what are the things I have to make. So under this I had a list, right? Let me just put a H2 so that you guys can understand. Understanding that would be better. List. Okay, now let's see what it has for us. So the first thing which we have is general aviation piston driven engines. So let us start with that. First I'm going to define a list. It's a ordered list, OL. Inside that, the first li contains general aviation. General aviation. Next, we have inside general aviation, we have another list. Okay, so how do I approach this? So there is a list inside a list. So what do? I also do the same thing like this, and another thing like this, which I have single engine aircraft. SINGL, single engine aircraft. Let me just put this over here. I hope you guys can see. It's a little bit zoomed. Let me just try to, yeah, I guess now you guys can see better. And let us go back, and inside this there is another list, so a list inside a list inside a list. Okay, that sounds a little bit tricky, but it's such easy task. Okay, go inside, make a list, add an element. So what's inside that? We have a tail wheel. Tail wheel. Done. That's how you got this. Let me add another element like that, and that's a tricycle, saying that it's a tricycle. So now we got one part of the list covered. So let's get on to the next one over here. So this has been done. Now let's add another li, and it's called dual engine. So we are done with single, so it's dual engine. Engine aircraft, and it has wing mounted engines. I don't know why I chose this. I could have gone with a very simple one instead of me manually typing all of this. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, I made a mistake. Let me just put it inside an OL so that it's easier. Okay, and I have to write it as wing mounted. Wing mounted. Okay, I did li. Now let me add in what is the next one. It's push li, and it's called push pull blah 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 blah, something like that. Now you guys understood, right, how we can put list inside a list or in a form of a nested list. So that is one topic. So we are done with list. Okay, you can always go to W3 schools, or you can go for geeks. You can go for an ordered list and ordered list, or however you find the list. So in this website you can, like, check everything about list, about how like you can add in a lot of how to add, use boxes, how to use the comments, how to use attributes, a lot about that, how you can use type none, which basically means there is no what do you say, bullet points, or you can see how to use different bullet points. Okay, this is the example which I had taken. So as you can see over here, they have just taken a list inside a list and put it in our way. So here you can come check out the code. You can, like, style your list in a different manner. So that is one part of the work which you have to do by yourself, so that you can get a better idea, because it is very cumbersome to explain each and every type of style which can be done. Okay, so congratulations on making it out of list. Okay, so this is an example which I taken from their webpage, and this is how you can do that. Okay, now the important topic. This topic is a game changer when it comes to web development. Anchors. Anchors are basically how you can link one web page to another, or a web page within a web page. And what does it mean? We are going to learn how this happens now. So anchor can be used as source or destination, used for linking clickable images, links, social media links in URLs, etc. So let me just come back and give you live demonstrations on that. So the basic web page consists of a few things. The common things in all web pages could be, let me just check a web page, and that one can get an idea about a page. Let's say I want to go to pretty simple page so that we can replicate, kind of make a mimic out of it. There is a road track which is always down, road track yeah. Okay, this seems to be a common thing. Okay, yeah, this would be perfect to explain how anchors work. So as you can see, each one is a link on which if you click that, it will take you to that particular page. You can see over here it has changed to about us. If I just go back, it was over here. As you can see, it is get involved, go track club. So let's try to do this by using anchors, and while doing this we would be learning how all of this works. So let me just make a new folder to understand this and name it as uh, link, so that let me just make it a web page so that you would be well aware of what how things are. So inside of web page we are going to wait we're going to create a folder called web page number one, because this could be a complete web page which you're going to further develop and would give you insights on that. Inside that, let me have index.html. That would be basic for all our web pages. Inside index and we would be having, as just saw, we'll be having about us .html. Okay, and let me just check what all was there in the index.html. Home index would be our home. Contact us, contact.html. A few pages might have a gallery.html. Okay, now we are all done. In the future, if you're using a framework, you don't need to do the troublesome task of like writing the boilerplate for each code. If you're using some applications like Flask, if you're using some applications like Django, all of them would help you remove that part of writing all the troublesome code. For now, let me add the entire code by my do it manually. So this would be our home page. Over here, let me do the same. HTML5, you know the drive, right? Drill how to do it. Okay, over here, let me make it as about us. About us. And over here at contact us, let's make it as contacts. Over here, let's try to add in images over here. That would be better. Over here, let's add, make it as gallery. And okay, now we have all these 4 pages, but they're not linked to one another. So that is how we are going to link all of them together and make our very first complete web page. Starting off, let me just give it a heading h1, saying that okay, this is a web page. Welcome to your web page. You can give anything you want. Okay, now let us try to implement what we have just learned. Just now we have learned about list, and all these things can be put inside a list, right? Let's do that. Let me put a h2 and let's say services, or let me just make it even simpler, links to other pages. Okay, now let me just start a list. Next, let me just put in the first element. Okay, I have to put it inside a href. Href is equals to, now this is very important guys, how to link a web page. Let us say I want to include about us.html. So it is about us.html like this. and over here you're going to write about us and close. Now let's do this for the other pages as well. Copy this and let's change it to contact. Contact us at. Similarly, let's do the same page for gallery, gallery over here, and make this as gallery. Okay, now let me put in some things over here so that it doesn't render empty. Easy and fun. Let us add some. Hey, welcome to the page. We are a team to help you learn HTML. Something like that, and contact us. Let us say contact at h1. Here are our contact informations. Let me just put some random gmail.com. Okay, how about I just got an idea. Let me just put it in a list instead of like making it a paragraph each time. Let me just make a list over here. That would be even better. List element number 1, it's xyz at email.com. These are random things which you might take. Let me just add in some number 444332211. Okay, over here let me just add a random image, so it serves the purpose of what it's doing. Image c is equals to let me just search up an image quickly for you guys. We started off with this. Let me just okay, this looks like a very good picture. Just copy it. Just copy paste the link over here and pray that it works, because sometimes if you copy images like this, there is a high chance that your images won't work. So the best approach would be always downloading the image over here. Okay, let's try if it works. If it doesn't, let's download the image. Okay, now hopefully all of this should be linked and working together. So let's try. If there are any errors that you would be facing or I would be facing, so if I face any errors, that would be because you would be learning from those errors which I make, or you would be facing the same error. So how I recognize it and solve it, you would also be able to do the same. So let me just open it with live server as usual. Let me just place it at my code. Okay, this is the best approach I always follow and I always recommend you guys to follow. Okay, now here's your web page, guys. Here's your first web page, I guess second web page, sorry. Yeah, I hope you guys were able to follow with the code. If you're not able to follow with the code, you can always slow down the video, pause, complete the code and then continue. Okay, it's all is how I want. Let me just click on about us. Will it take it to about us? Yes. Okay, our code is working successfully. Over here you can see the about us, but wait, we are kind of facing a problem. So I can't, if you want to go back, I have to click back over here, and you can't actually, like, um, it's taking you to another page in a same tab, making it difficult to navigate back. I guess the image didn't load, that's why it's necessary to download it over here. So the first bug or first approach which you can make a note of is that whenever you're dealing with images, make sure that you put them in the folder in which you're working, or else you would end up with this. So let me quickly do that. Now let me just quickly save this image. No, where is this? Yeah. Oops, I guess I made a mistake over here. Let me name it as something easier so that it's image. This should be this issue. Let me solve this issue first. Let me just go to gallery and remove this. Okay, I removed a little bit too much. Okay, it's easy. You guys remember that image src, and I am image.avf and close. Okay, now every page of this is linked, but now the main task: how can you make sure that the user need not come back to this page again and again without using these arrow marks? There are two ways of doing this. One way is that all of your pages should contain a way to come back to home page. So let's go with that approach first. I will teach you another important, very easy approach, but let us learn about this approach as well. Let me just copy paste this part of the code, come to about us, and it would be always mostly in the top right. So let me just put it over here, and okay, here. Let's remove index. Let's put here and put home. Okay, let's do the same for the other pages as well. Like this, and let's, okay, we are at contact us, so let's just remove contact us from the list. Okay, now let's copy this. Okay, we missed about us over here. Wait, so this is how you have to do. This is a very difficult and cumbersome task. Okay, we are in contact us. Over here I just add this. I'm just adding the links, guys. All you have to do is put a href index.html. Here is going to be your .html extensions, and here you're going to name them. So it's not very difficult. All you have to do is copy this and paste it in another thing. Same goes for gallery over here. Let me just copy this from, copy the entire list, come to gallery, paste the entire list. As we already are in gallery, you don't need to go to gallery. So let me just remove that, and let me just copy the contactors because that is what was missing. And let me place it over here. Okay, now everything is done. So if I go to about us, we have a place where you can go back home. Okay, this website doesn't look that pretty right now, or doesn't look so amazing, but now we have just learned HTML, the very basics. As we learn CSS and JavaScript, we can add in a lot more functionality and design to our web pages. We are going to learn about how you can put your nav bar over here, which is basically how you'll be making it in an ordered manner. Next, you're going to learn about how you can add icons where you can put a telephone number or a Gmail box over here. That all would be in the CSS part, which is going to be coming up very shortly. So make sure you watch that. Okay, now we have all the web pages linked over here, but let's say that you want to make that it opens in a new tab every time. So every time you click on a link, it should open in a new tab. So that is very easy. That is one approach in which you can like reduce adding a lot of things. Okay, and it will be very easy for the user because it is in two different tabs. So what you do when you're in href over here, you need to just add a one line of code, one word, that's target equals and blank. Let's do this again for all of this. Target equals blank. Okay, now this is what you're going to see. I'm at the home page. Okay, I did it for the gallery page. Okay, let me just go to gallery page. That is better. So let me just click on the home page. Now, as you can see, there are two tabs over here. That is one over here and one over here. So the advantage of doing this is that the user can come back to the page in which he was already there and then can switch between two things. Okay. Now, okay, let me just finish it off with another example of how you can use href for how to link things. It's already taking a lot of time, I know. So let's cover the other topics which we had, which was today I thought of covering tables and introduction to user input. Let's keep it in another video. Let me just complete this. So let's say this are how you link pages between your all your web pages. Let's say you wanted to link to another or someone else's web page. So how do you do that? Let's say I want to link it to Google's web page, right? So let me just do google.com. Okay, this is Google's web page. Let me just copy this. Let me just copy the address, come to our index.html, and let's just add in another page. Let's say another h3, saying that if you want to go to Google, click me. Okay, and let's enclose it. Okay, if I just reduce this so that you can see I have just added a h3 and wrote over here. Let me just put a tag, let's say a href, and paste the address over here, and let's just copy the a from here and place it over here. Okay, hopefully everything works just fine. We are in index.html, so let me just click. Okay, ta-da! Now you can go to Google's web page. Okay. So let me just make, as I said earlier, let me just put a target equals blank, and now okay, I've just added target equals blank, and now if I click on this web page, it is going to take me to Google's web page or Google's home page. So in the similar manner, here you can put as many or as links as you want, so that you can visit others web page from your web page. If the customer or the client wants to go to another web page for the references, he can use this particular way of doing it. Just one more thing about href, and we'll be wrapping up this session very soon. Let's say I want to link between two things. Let's say I just type in a paragraph of let me just copy an essay from Google itself. We have Google over here, Google essay examples. Okay, I don't need an entire essay to work with this. Let me just copy the entire thing over here, whatever is written. So I just did was copy paste this. Let me just check. Let me just show you what our web page looks like. Okay, so I just have a page over here. Let's say if I click on pages, it should point me over here. How do I do that? Let's say I have a span. Okay, here Google is over here. Let me just put a span. As you guys know, span is an inline element. Span, I give it a class, or let me just give it an ID. ID equals Google, like this, and close it. Let me just put, I just added a span over here. Span ID equals Google, and let me just close this span. Yeah, nothing has changed. Now okay, now let me say that if I click this, if I click H1, it should help me link to our Google, or it should take me to Google. So this basically works in things such as, let's say I click on learn more. No, not this. Let me give a better demonstration what I wanted to show. Let's go to Wikipedia. That would be a go-to thing because that is the basic web page. And let me just search something. I'm not able. Let's say, mm, let's search for body types or something. Okay. So let me just open anything. Let me just open body of water, anything. Let's just open. Okay. Here you guys can see, right? Like if I click on this, it takes me to a page. And if I click on anything, it's going to take me to a page over there. How do you get that done? And so let me just show you a quick demonstration of that. Here is an example for that, which is easier. So I just put a href over here like this, as you can see, the similar manner. So I have to just link this now. Just to come over here and put a href, saying that it should go to hashtag. It should go to hashtag whatever this ID name. Let's wait. The ID name over here was Google, and let me just close this, cut, and paste it over here. Okay, so what I have done, I have just put a href for the heading, which is welcome to your page, and I have made a span over here. In that span, ID equals Google. So let me just show you how it works. Okay, now if I click over here, it should take me to Google. It is doing the same thing. I'll just give you another view. If I click welcome to your page, it is taking me to where Google is over here. So this can be very helpful if you have links in between your documents or in between a single page. So let's say a user is at start of the page and there's a lot of text, and then there is a place over here which you want to quickly go. So that is possible by using such type of links. So here I would like to wrap up this session on how you can use hrefs or anchor tags to link between pages, to link between web pages, to link in between your own web page, to link between different web pages, and to link to other web pages as well. So remember guys, this is very important because you'll be using href in a variety and many ways between how you can link all your pages together. So understanding this concept was very much important. In the next video, we would be going ahead. You can always remember, you can always go through all of this whenever you're free, or whenever it's possible, or whenever you need additional support to learn this. In the next video, we will be covering tables and various input informations. Okay, tables might not be that important because you can learn it easily, but when it comes to getting information from the user, now, especially now, getting information from the user is very important. Like you want to take in a login information, let's go to any basic web page. Okay, let's say I just go to mm, Geeks for Geeks. Yeah, a very popular web page. Or as soon as I go over here, it will ask me most of the time to sign in, or let's say I want to sign in. Okay, it's asking me to sign in. Okay, it asks you to sign in, so you're going to enter your name, you're going to enter your password, you're going to enter your email, and it's going to sign in. So how does the server gets this information, how the pre-processing is done, and how the user input or user data is taken in? So all this we will be learning in the next video on how to take in user data or user input, and how in the next video after learning JavaScript, that is not now but when you're going to learn JavaScript, I'm going to show you how this login page actually works in real time, so that you would have a better idea and better feel of how these things work behind the backend servers and how the company manages all of this. For now, thank you. Let's meet in the next session.